Hey there. So, the Arlington Supercross just happened this past weekend. I know I'm a little late to the party here. It's Thursday as I'm recording this. It's probably going to be Friday when I drop this. Just unfortunate timing. But if you weren't watching the Supercross race, what were you doing? There's a lot to unpack, and yeah, I'm going to say my piece on, the elephant in the room, which is, has to do with penalties and not giving penalties, actually, really. So, yeah, let's just get straight into it. Obviously, this was the introduction to the East Coast Division, which, in my opinion, it's more stacked than it has ever been, at least within the last few years. I'm going to take a dive into that as well. We're going to go into the 250 class first, so let's just get right into that. So we're just going to kind of rip off the Band-Aid here. We're going to talk about Joe Shimoda first. And honestly, I was really surprised with how he looked. I didn't have that high of expectations for Joe coming in. I mean, he just started riding his bike like last week, and he was pretty good. Obviously, the unfortunate thing happened where, he rolled the double and the finish line jump because of the flashing, beaming red lights in his face, indicating that he should not be jumping that. So he didn't. And honestly, I think this is the most absurd thing that has ever happened in Supercross. I mean, they have the flashing red lights there for a reason, okay? And they're, when they, came out with the review and pretty much explaining everything, their reason that Joe, they're saying that he was not prohibited from jumping was because there wasn't a red cross flag out. So why the hell do we have the lights if it doesn't even matter if they're out, if they're flashing red anyway? Is it for decoration? I have no idea. So, I mean, I think Joe got robbed, and the fact that he didn't get, any sort of, reimbursement or something, I don't know what they could have done, but the fact that they're not even trying to do that is, I think it's, complete bullshit, to be honest with you. Yeah, I mean, and if that's, a rusty version of Joe, he was, 3.3 seconds, I think, was the lead. I mean, if that's a rusty Joe, he is going to be very good, at least in a couple weeks for sure, and I'm sure by outdoors he will be phenomenal. But yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. I'm sure he is, disappointed in what happened. Honestly, to me, a top 5 for him was going to be a good weekend, but no, he got the whole shot twice. He, both times in the heat race, actually, he got the whole shot. Got a really good start in the main. Yeah, he looked really solid, guys. Pretty much everything I could have hoped for coming out of Joe Shimoda, at least speed-wise. Now, of course, moving on to Pierce Brown. I mean, he looked incredible. He looked just as good as he did in Tampa last year. Obviously, when he had that horrific crash in the whoop section, he looked very good. Obviously, he held off Joe at the end, or at the whole rest of the race after he passed Joe. But I don't think he would have won if he didn't get, I guess lucky. If he didn't get lucky there. So, yeah, he rode really good. I mean, you would never be able to tell that was his first ever Supercross win. I mean, the kid was lightning quick. He's gonna be a title contender, guys. He is going to be a title contender. And honestly, before even leading up to this, I didn't really even have him on my radar. I kind of forgot about him, and I shouldn't have done that. He's a very good rider, very talented. I'm excited to see how he does, especially, going up against his teammates and the other title combatants. So I would say, Pierce, just keep doing what you're doing, man. It's clearly working. And now we're going to move on to Seth Hamaker with a third place on the night. Honestly, I think he could have done better. But honestly, a good first round, which is, not really what he had last year. He kind of started off a little slow, but then he started to, pick up his momentum. But I think this is a good starting point for him. And, the other tracks, I'm sure, he's going to get multiple wins, I'm sure. And, yeah, he's going to be there till the end, I think, if he doesn't get hurt. So there's not really much to say about Seth, but, yeah, I liked what I saw. Nothing crazy, but nothing too bad. All right, so I just wanted since I didn't feel like re-recording that, he actually got fourth place, behind Daxton Bennick, who I'm going to talk about next. Apologies for that. Honest mistake. But anyway, speaking of Daxton Bennick, I mean, honestly, he surprised me. He looks like he's ready. He looks like he might be ready to win a race. If warranted, he was sticking with Joe and Pierce Brown in the, he was kind of in the heat of the battle for a little bit. But, obviously he fell off towards the end there. But honestly, if the cards fall right in his favor, he could win a race. I don't know if he's going to compete for this championship, but this will be a good year for him to get himself pointed in that direction. Kind of like DeFrancesco, kind of like what, I was going to say Hunter Lawrence, but he's the points leader, so never mind. We're going to move on. And then we have Cole Davies. He salvaged a top 5 after a crash in the start of the race, the first turn. I mean, the guy was the fastest guy all night, and his whoop speed is, it's out of this world. He is so fast in the whoops. He was so much faster than everybody else in the whoops. It wasn't even fair. James Stewart, Malcolm Stewart, those kind of vibes. Yeah, man, that kid is going to be so hard to beat this year. I'm telling you, man, these top 3, or I'm going to say top 4, Brown, Joe, Seth, and Cole. I mean, these guys are going to be competing so hard for this championship. That's why I'm saying this championship is as stacked as it has ever been. So I'm excited to see. I mean, Cole, he's going to win multiple races. Honestly, he might end up with the most wins this season if it's not Joe. So yeah, I mean, that kid is lightning quick. Next is Drew Adams. He did not get a good start. That's kind of been his Achilles heel. The kid is so fast and has so much talent, so much going for him. It's just he's a bigger dude, and it's just hard for him to get that drive off the start, which is hindering his performance because he's not really a 6th place guy. I think he could get podiums. So I even think if it falls right, in the right way, he can win. I'm gonna make that prediction now, so y'all could get back to me on that when it happens. But yeah, nothing much to say. He was quick. He came through the pack, got a 6th. I think he's just gonna have to try to build on that, along with Cody Schock too. He pretty much kind of the same scenario. Nothing much happened. I do think he could be a top 5 guy though. So these guys, just build on that moving forward. Now we're going to go to the 450 class. So when we're talking about the 450 class, obviously the first guy we got to talk about is Hunter Lawrence. He has really started to flourish this season with getting 4 second places in a row, and then now he finally got that elusive win, and in very good fashion. I mean, he passed Ken Roxon, and he held off Tomac and Webb and Kenny for the entirety of the race. And it was really impressive. I was really impressed on how he rode. I mean, this guy, he could be in for the long haul. He's proving me wrong. I did say that this season would be a transition for him to become a title contender next year. But he really has blown that out of the water. I mean, he's the points leader for now the 3rd round in a row. The kid's on fire. I don't know what else to say, man. He's just really doing really good right now. But I'm still going to say this. He's lucky that Jet isn't out there. But everyone's lucky that Jet isn't out there. But that's why I think this season has been as entertaining as it has been. But, yeah, I mean, let's just see what he can do at Daytona. And the rounds following. So, next we have Eli Tomac. I mean, he really salvaged out a good result there with a horrible start, but he somehow managed to get up to 4th by the end of the lap. By the end of the 2nd turn, really. He came out of nowhere, and that really saved him. That maybe could have saved his championship. But obviously there is a big situation with him, Cooper Webb, and Roxon jumping the Red Cross jump. And to be honest, I agree with the no penalty here, because if you look at it, I mean, they put the flag in Tomac's face when he was already about to take off in the jump. I feel like it would just be really sketchy for him to try to roll it, to slow down and roll it. That he could have got hurt doing that. But obviously, if they put it in Tomac's face and then in Webb's face, like I would have jumped it too if I was Webb at that point. I mean, if they wait for Tomac to go by and then point it at Webb, who was right behind him, like that's not. I mean, that's just not fair. But anyway, I think that isn't as controversial as the Joe situation. But yeah, I mean, Tomac looked good. He's been consistent. I mean, Daytona, I think he's going to win. I think he's going to get his 8th win at Daytona. I mean, the guy knows his way around the track. So let's just see how he does there. But the Eli Tomac program, they're probably not really worried at all. And obviously next, in turn, we're going to talk about Cooper Webb, who he had a pretty good race. I honestly thought he was going to have a good chance to win on Saturday. Obviously, he didn't, but he did good, and he showed good speed, which I did like. He was blitzing the whoops most of the race, actually, that's a step in the right direction for him. And obviously, he didn't really get upset about that pass Tomac made on him. He said that he pretty much would have done the same thing, which is fair. Game respects game. But obviously, whenever Webb sees an opportunity like that, he is going to take it 100% of the time. Cooper Webb actually did do really good in Daytona last year, so I just want to see how he does this year. If he can just get a good start and salvage some points, if he's not the fastest guy out there, then that's what I would do if I were him. But yeah, Paul Webb, he's still in the thick of this thing, man, and he's not going to go anywhere, especially in these East Coast rounds. And next we have Kenny. I mean, he did ride really good for most of the main. Obviously, he was under the weather, so honestly, for him to stay up front as long as he did is like incredible in itself. But yeah, he's just doing really good. Trying to bounce back from that incident with Hunter Lawrence. He's still in this thing. He's just gonna have to put out some good results here if he kind of wants anything going for him in this title race. So yeah, just watch out for Kenny. He was last year's Daytona winner, so if he does not have the flu by race day, you don't want to count him out. You do not want to count him out. And next we have Justin Cooper. I'm not really going to talk much about him. He kind of just had a quiet night, P5, and it's kind of just an average Justin Cooper showing. So, yeah, I think we should just see if he gets a better start in these next East Coast rounds. I want to see how he does then. If he can kind of come above what he's been finishing at. Obviously, he did get a podium a couple weeks ago, so that was good. But in these East Coast rounds, I want to see something from him. So let's just see what NBA J-Coop's got. And now we have Chase Sexton, and once again, he has been painfully average, just not being the rider that we know he can be, but also kind of I got the beauty of me being late on this debrief here is I just got some word that Chase Sexton is not going to be in attendance for Daytona due to an injury that he suffered over the week. So if his season wasn't already over, it's definitely over now. There's no way he's going to win this title. He's too far gone. There's too many heavy hitters for him to really make a big swing back in this title hunt. But, I mean, like, he's just not been there, and I think it's all up here in his head. It's all up here in his head. He can be the fastest guy whenever he wants to be. I mean, we saw it, when he won Anaheim too. He was incredible that round. So, I mean, I don't know what he's got to do to get that switch back on to becoming the Chase that we know he can be, who was getting, fast qualies and winning races, but it's got to happen, and it's got to happen soon, man. Because if he starts talking about the bike, it's over for the guy. I'm sorry. It's over for him. So, let's just see how Chase Sexton is moving forward, because now he's like a top 10 guy and not winner guy. So, yeah. I've just been disappointed with him, that's all. And the last guy I'm going to talk about is Joey Savacci. So he was like really fast, and he did really good, especially in the heat race when he was just like passing like top guys. Yeah, I like watching Joey, man. He's good on the 450. Yeah, I want more Joey. That's pretty much it. So that's going to be the video for today. Obviously, earlier in the week, it was confirmed that Prado is not going to be in Daytona, which is sad because I really I was really anticipating him being at Daytona because obviously those conditions kind of cater the most to his, his natural riding, more than any track. It's the most outdoors track you can get at Supercross, and I really wanted to see how he would do, but we're not going to get to see that, unfortunately, so that's that. I did forget to mention it at the beginning of the video, but you guys need to join my Discord server. It's in the link of the video, or you can see it over at the top corner or whatever. Trying to build a community out here, talking to you guys about moto stuff. We can play some like MX Simulator or something like that. But yeah, that's pretty much been my debrief. Daytona, Saturday night. I'm really excited for this race. Obviously, it's going to be a turning point in the season. So let's just see what Daytona can bring us. I really like the track layout, to be honest. I think it's probably one of the better Daytona layouts that we've seen in a minute. So I am looking for a nice Daytona round. So I'll be talking with you guys next week about Daytona.